back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, like and share this live stream so that we can get around and get the community growing. Okay, so I owe you guys a video. I know. I owe you guys a video. Friday. It was they had a lot of things going on, a lot of things to do. Outside of this online world, I have a life as well, and sometimes things have to work on that more than I have to work on this. But okay, I'm here. I'm back with you guys. I love you guys. It's Monday. I hope you guys are had a good weekend and you're ready to take on this week and whatever we have that's ahead of us to come. So I just want to give just big shouts to all my peoples out there, man. Just out there living your life and feeling good about yourself, concentrating on your health, and just upgrading your wealth, in other words. So over the weekend, I just want to start it off like this. I just think God, Mike Tyson's all right, and it didn't turn out to be anything that we didn't want to see. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. And as for I think with I'm just talking about the Mike Tyson and Jake fight, and I feel like it was like an exhibition, so it is what it is. Nobody got seriously hurt, but the money was paid out. And I just hope that from this point on, that's just it. No more of these types of fights. And I hope that, because Jake, he already proved that he's he can get in there professionally and go against boxers. So I think they should just take it there. And I'm glad Mike got what he got out of it. And hopefully this is his last fight, because, the older you get, it hurts your body. So you want to pay attention to your health as well as, your strength. He still has the strength, but his health is always first. So, that's what we on. There's a lot going on, y'all. I feel good today. I just want to share that energy with you guys. And yeah, I just want to get this one out there today and just feeling good, man. I just want to go into this week feeling a little better than I was last week. I had the sniffles and everything, and that thing, it makes you feel heavy on yourself. So I feel way better. Way better, man. I got my fruits here, a little smoothie, a little water. So we doing all right. Another thing that I seen that I don't know if you guys seen it was the Dame Dash. He was doing that. He was going the back and forth with the 1/3 of the rights of the Reasonable Doubt album with Jay-Z. But I seen New York State. They picked it up and they bought it. So that was, to me, them just picking it up and buying it. It just shows how much control that. When you owe the government or you owe whoever money and it's that amount of money as far as his debt, they're in control. They have their hands in your pocket and they're going to make sure the money goes. So they're the one that they won the auction. So hopefully we'll see like maybe Jay-Z buying into it, or maybe he might not. I'm not sure. But hopefully we'll see that. That's what's going on. I seen that and I was just like, wow. It's happening, it's coming to a closure with that whole Reasonable Doubt situation. But man, that's just been I hope after this we don't have to, the back and I guess this is going to be the last end of them cutting ties. That's the only thing I think they have tied to each other. It's just as far as business wise, not friendship or whatever wise, but just as far as business, I think that's where it's all gonna end. But he owes 8.7 million. That's a lot of money to owe. And but you have to, there's a lot of things you can do to get your money up, but when you owe that amount of money, that can be a strain too. So just want to live your life, and as you go, the things that you love should be able to try to get into that direction of paying it off. I don't know how that works as far as like owing that much in debt and things like that. I don't know if I would, damn, I can't just say, at that age, just cover that. Maybe a big movie or something, or if Jay does buy into it, maybe they'll cut down some of the debt, bringing it down. But 8.7 it's really a lot to owe. I don't know how far off, it doesn't really shave too much off on that thing. That's kind of up there. That's scary. It gets scary when you owe people that amount of money. You got to do the right things with your money. It's better not to owe at all and just, work on what you're working on and make what you got to make. Yeah, that's a lot of money, man. I don't know. I can't even just say that he can get himself out that hole. That would have to be like some kind of, some people would take that amount of money that he owes as like the end all. You could win lotto 8 point something million and you feel like, you can work yourself up from there, And this is where we see like a lot of athletes, they have chances of getting out of these debts because they can do things outside of social media. And like just as far as like Mike Tyson and things like that, they can do like outside, things outside of it to get the money back and maybe shows and things like that. But when you're a CEO or, and you wasn't the person that was presented in as far as, the person that's actually, you're behind the scenes. It makes it that much harder for you to just get back to where you once was, and that's just a sad situation. But I'm glad to see that it's ending, and it's crazy. It's nuts. Did you guys also? This is what I wanted to really bring to you guys. So finally, like I said, I would love to hear and see what Miss Wallace had to say about this whole Diddy situation, and she did say something. And I let me just see if I have what she exactly said here. Um, it was sad, man. She said it was something towards like she's glad that Biggie's not here to see how people are like just tarnishing his name and where they went with it. It's a sad thing. I knew Miss Wallace. Miss Wallace, you get that from your parents too. If you have those like West Indian parents or just parents in general that's just alert with their energy and they use their energy and they instill that in their kids, because you could just tell that she knew his energy from the beginning was off, and that's in the early stages of Diddy. So yeah, I can't see, and I'm also hearing with Diddy like I've seen a lot of headlines. I know you guys seen these headlines like, oh, Diddy's running to jail, this and that, for whatever that may mean. But at the end of the day, it's like you're not really, when you hear things like that, oh, Diddy's running to jail, that means he's probably getting extorted and he probably is paying a whole bunch of people. This is what this is what it all boils down to. Like, I mean, come on, man. And all these people, I'm hearing today is the release of Shine's documentary on it. And I'm hearing both sides on, how people feel about Shine. Just at this point, they're hearing like a different side of him telling his story. And he was trying to break down and explain, I've seen on a few podcasts, he was trying to break down and explain that he was trying to say this from a long time ago. And documentaries take a while to do, so it wasn't something like he just popped up last week or last year. He was working on this for almost two years or something like that. And I feel, everybody has a story to tell, and even though for some people it might feel uncomfortable if they play the bad guy in the story, I feel like you should always be able to tell your story. And if he feels this is the way he feels, because he did do 10 years for him, and there was a lot of speculations around the time when it happened that other people felt like Shine was done wrong. So if he feels like he's at a point now where he'll get more eyes and ears on it, I guess that's how he feels. That's how he's gonna go about it. But yeah, man, I'm waiting to see how that's gonna go. I'm gonna check it out, and I'll give my take on it. But as far as the situation, I heard from the girl that was involved in it, she said that Diddy had allegedly shot her. So just hearing that from her, I felt like that was enough to know that it was more than what what we heard about. So I didn't really judge it any more than that. I didn't point the finger who did what did this or did that. But at the end of the day, I mean, it looks like what he Diddy didn't really get charged. So at the end of the day, if he was involved in anything with that, I don't know, man. It's like they're digging in the chest and pulling up all his dirt, and all of this dirt. It's annoying. It's like it just shows like the character that he was, that we didn't know. It's almost unbelievable to know that he hid all of this. It's almost unbelievable to know, but with that amount of money, I know it's possible, So yeah, man, I'm still behind the victims, and I just hope everybody get their just due behind it. And I'm hearing his kids also, they're going about, I don't know, as far as I can't tell other people's kids how to do, or how to move, because they're actually young adults, I should say. And the way they're going about it is, it's just weird to me. It's more like, if you're gonna fight for your dad's justice, do that and try to get him as much less time, instead of just fighting social media. You'll never win against a social media, because social media, when they throw the facts in your face and you can't, you're blinded by that. You can't, how are you gonna, I know what, you might have some rights in what you're saying, but it doesn't overweigh the crime that he did, and people just fighting with the wrong things. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, I look at these situations like, not only just a learning lesson, but I hope that like the youth looking up to this could know that, you could do this on your own without having somebody to put you on or tell you how much you're worth, or all of this stuff is the stuff that you can get all that stuff and earn all that stuff on your own. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that. Because there's a lot of people out here, they don't even know what they out there looking for. They don't know what they're looking for. They know how to do something good, and they can bring something with the music. They don't know how to place it. They don't know how to tell their story right. I feel like there should be some kind of well, there are some MCs and some producers that went down the line of teaching in colleges and things like that. Shouts out to Guru. There's a lot of who else? There's a lot of Mickey Fax is doing something in colleges. Who else? Who else? I want to shout out. I believe. Oh, what's the? I think there was another producer. I forget. There's a couple producers. I believe I seen a special on Just Blaze teaching the kids and things like that. So there's a lot of spaces where that music and the history of it could be implemented in colleges, and it doesn't even have to go to colleges. You can even take it down even lower, being that it's for the youth, and put it in that format. Break it down a little. You could break it down for the youth a lot, way better. So there's a lot of there's a lot of lessons you can take from these situations that we're seeing nowadays on social media. I'm still thinking about even though here and there I've been watching like I've been doing like a lot of binge watching on like I fell into the Chicago documentaries, and also New Orleans too, just because of the crime. It made me, I wanted to like put myself in their shoes, and because they don't have it the same way as us, and it's not fair that they're being treated and looked at upon like, it's not, I know they're not doing the like the crime is at an all-time high, but I know they're not doing, it's coming more, it's more than the crime, it's deeper than that. It's from the homes, the families, people that have been hurt in the past carrying on trauma. And that is, you have to fix that. And not every place deal with these traumas the same. But it seems like in these particular areas, these traumas exist. It's happening right in real time, and people are hurting on camera. I've seen documentaries where I've seen a lot of dudes hurt, been shot, wounded, hurt people, and they're sitting there with this hurt, and they have this loss in them. And I just feel like just trying to send them, some kind of like way outs. Like there's so many other ways you can go. Social media is not just a place for just rapping. It's a place for connection. And once people see who you are and what you're trying to do, there's always people that's going to get behind you and try to support you because of the circumstances you might be coming from or you might face. Struggle is the diamond in a lot of people's stories. And you have to realize that once you know that the struggle is the diamond, you start trying to clean that diamond off by getting yourself in a place where, you can be more safer for your family, even if you got to move and things like that. Because I hate to see people people are, it's one thing, I can get mad and say Little Durk this, Little Durk that, but is it just Little Durk? Is it the environment, or is it what they brought up upon, like how they see things? Because once trauma hits, you only know how to defend yourself. We see people dying on a daily basis, and we can't take it. If they have to walk outside their door and they see that, and that's the things that their intake from a youth, then we have to kind of like, we can't treat them like it's their fault. I don't want to hear like it's their fault. It's not their fault. If somebody does a crime and they make a horrible mistake and they hurt somebody or kill somebody, and they have to do the time for it, well, you do the crime, you do the time. But when you point the finger and just say, that person could be lost, and there's no solutions already, the youth can go to say, if I don't want to do this, what can I do? So we have to try to find some help all around. There's a lot of places that need more than just like policing. It's to the point now where policing could be detrimental in certain places because of all the gun violence. So if there's not a place where like, we need more like structured places where you can, instead of just like how it was back in the day where the youth go and learn a trade or learn a sport. This time we need places where the youth can go and make a few dollars social media and do it the right way and have computers up, and they can go start their little podcasts in these little places and get their first ends on that in these places where it's needed most. Because A lot of the youth, I see them screaming out saying they're just as scared as the people shooting at them. So if they're saying there's nowhere else to go, if you put things in the places for them to go and have it, but in a different light, show them that there's more, like over there, that's what's happening over there. You're going to find more of the people that don't want to be involved in this criminal activities trying to get themselves over there, whether it's scoring a new job, whether it's learning a new trade, whether it's helping somebody over there or changing themselves for the wrongs they did over here. It's going to work. It's going to work. Stop taking this money and just throwing it at people that's just coming in and just trying to find new ways. We have to start helping the people that's here already. And once that happens, then it'll be a safer place for anybody to come into. But if the place is just chaos and people are landing in, new people are coming in, that's all they see, that's all they know, and that's all that's going to be put in the media and in the streets, and it's going to be more chaos. So if we don't get out of that type of mindset, we have to start looking at people and trying to find solutions in the things that they do. And start individual, like make people more individual and start group, because the more you group people up, it takes away your freedom. If you group people up, it takes everything. Like everybody has to, it's like everybody's saying one thing. No, everybody has different thoughts. So if you group it up and make it this RICO and everybody arrested, nobody gets to say for their freedom. Their freedom is snatched. Everybody's put on the same cell, and then they're being split apart for these years and years to come. Come on. I mean, the prisons are going to be packed. You're going to start seeing these people open up prisons. The same people that's going against the people in society and the people that's bringing these guns from wherever they're making these things are going to be the same people investing into these new prisons, and they're going to be making billions and billions of dollars from prisons from locking these people up. All of that can be avoided. Instead of building all these prisons, it can build more places for people to learn new things. But being that the violence and everything is going around, it's crazy. So if we pay attention more to the solutions of individuals and say, why you did that? Why did you do that? Yeah, I know it looks like the other shooting the other last week, but why did you do that? And hear the story in between those and solve those stories. That's when the problems will start getting solved little by little. That's the way I feel. That's just how I felt. That's just me looking at these documentaries and seeing that the same things are happening over and over. And the hurt is just keep going. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And that's just not trying to be holier than thou. That's just trying to help my people. Like you can't, there's mothers out there, there's kids out, and there's also some guys out there that don't want to go through that life. They don't want to go through that. It's not just it's the females, it's the fellas too that don't want to go. You don't have to be the toughest person to be the one to raise a family right or do the right things for your peoples. That doesn't, the toughest person, that's not, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. It's always about the person that's willing to give their all and go the distance. That's what it's all about. It's not about just who's the toughest. That's just not, I mean, I also seen something that brings it all in. We're talking about boxing and everything. So, Muhammad Ali, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. When he boxed George Foreman was way tougher than him. Muhammad Ali beat him with this, brains. One punch could have knocked Ali out of the ring into next week. But he thought with this, he knew that Foreman was going to run out of energy in a certain amount of rounds, and he calculated every round. In the first rounds, I'm just do jazz, play with him. Second round, he's going to be so frustrated with all the jazz I've been giving him the first round, he's going to throw himself out. Third round, he's going, and finally, boom, 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 and he's on the floor. It took this to win that match. It didn't take, it's only a certain amount of strength that you can have to knock somebody out. It takes only a certain amount. Every boxer could gain that strength, but it's up to this to make that match what it is. And fighting is just more than that. It's strategy, and that's what life is about. So, when you play in these places and people only giving you, oh, you have to be the toughest, this and that, they're not telling you the level that's above that, because they don't even know how to reach that. There's people that skip past that toughness, and they become. Look at the bull, and what do you call the the guy, I believe his name is the Mandolin or something like that, with the bull. He's not tough, but he controls the bull. The bull, he's not even hitting him with the cape, and the bull is running on. That's just life. So use that in your strategy of whatever you want to do, and then go out there and then figure it out yourself. Because at the end of the day, people are going to try to figure out their way for you. And trust me, it's not going to be a good fit for you. It's not going to be what you want. It's not going to be the hours you want to work, the type of money you want, the type of money it's going to hold on. It's not going to be nothing. You have to earn that on your own. You have to put them dollar signs on yourself. And you have to know what you're worth, and you have to go out there and demand it. If they don't want to give it to you, you turn around and you go somewhere else and you work on your own journey. It's when you have all these people coming on attaching to you to get you somewhere is where you find yourself in these places where like people end up, you know, it's sad with like the Diddy situation, and people end up, they looking to get a record deal, but they end up over here because they thinking that they have to do this, to do that, to do this. All of that stuff is just deterring you from what you are really here and God set you here to do. So don't get your mind caught up with all that nonsense. I don't get myself caught up in that. I really wanted to, the more and more we go, the more and more we have these conversations, I'm going to be, upgrading the show. So you'll see me with, like coming towards, I wanted to do it like maybe for the holidays, maybe towards Christmas, you'll see me, get the show together and make it a little, I love talking straight phone like this. I'll always probably keep the live like this, but I'll upgrade the show and have more things coming in there. And maybe you guys could, super chat and all that good stuff YouTube allows you guys to do. But for now, I just like to keep it like this on this one-on-one conversation with you guys, just on how I feel. Okay, so another thing is too, this was very on the edge. The young thug, he's going through a legal battle for $16 million. And it's something due to him, selling his rights or his music, I guess while he was going through this court case, he sold like some of his catalog. But within that catalog, I believe that he didn't have all legal rights to sell some of that stuff. It could have been music. It could have been beats, production. Everything wasn't, you have to make sure when you're selling especially a catalog, that everything on there, it's your ownership. So now he owes 16 million. But it's not about the 16 million. It's all about why you were just facing so many years, and it's not like it's off. Hip hop right now is, like I told you, it's a magnet to the drama. It's a magnet to the drama. Drama in hip hop right now. Look, these people will point out your criminal record before your resume. You hear me? They will highlight your criminal record before your resume. Your resume, all your accolades, all the things that you are good at, your talents, everything. They would rather highlight your criminal record. Stay away from this music. Let me tell you, young thug, if you want to save your life, you don't want to go to jail for the rest of your life. Pay these people. Do your music outside of doing this music, in other words. If you want to do the music and that's the thing you love doing, don't get into this hip hop. Don't get up with other MCs. You don't got to do none of that. If you really want to do it, just do your music from your and work. At least try to make it 5 years. I give you 5 years. Just go 5 years. 5 years without us having this social media connection with you. You don't have to do that. We know what you're going through. Don't let people trick you out of trust me, it's not going to be easy. It's not a walk in the park. These years they put upon you, so if you get in trouble. So don't get hip hop it's a magnet for this drama. I'm telling you. Trust me, stay away from that or you're going to find yourself in prison. Nobody wants to be in there. You do not. It's not even worth it. Because you'll be sitting in there like, why did I even do that? Why did I even do that? Oh, man. Another thing, this is a little something I heard and I was reading the news. So we know that Red Lobster, they went bankrupt, and I guess somebody took over new ownership, and they said it was all due to the $20. I believe it was the shrimp. Hold on, the $20 endless shrimp promotion. You can't keep the $20 endless shrimp promotion on for the rest of Red Lobster. Are you crazy? People are going to keep getting the $20 endless shrimp. Come on, man. That is going to make you go bankrupt. This is just showing you that their promotion brought people there, but they couldn't hold up their promotion because it's going to take, you have to weigh your business out. It's just like saying, you want to make your clothes affordable for your community, but you can't take it down to a certain or match a certain price point because of the cost of the clothing, and that happens sometimes. So you try to balance it out. Me, as far as my brand, Inspired by Dreams, I try to keep it honest with people. And the prices that you see there are not prices that I match with these clothing lines. I try to keep it. I try to be honest with you. If let's say like a hoodie costs let's say this costs $40, $50. Let's say $40, right? To make. So the whole thing's 40. I'm gonna want to make a 20, at least $20 off that. But if it's one of these designer hoodies and I have to take it down, yeah, I'll take it down to 10 and then I'll work my way up the more I sell them. But that's just how it goes, because you also have to think. People don't really have it like they say they do. Even though they're telling you they do, what you gonna believe in the lie and act like, so put the prices to their fake lie? No, you want to catch them where their price points are. So that's just being smart when you're dealing with business. You know, and you'll learn. It doesn't. And nowadays with clothing lines, everybody's looking for something new. Everybody's looking for something new. So when they do find you, make sure it's something new. Make sure it's something affordable for them that they can keep coming back. And I think that's what happened with Red Lobster. They went for the $20 endless shrimp, and they brought the people to the seats. But at the end of the day, they knew that eventually that was going to cause them to lose a lot of money. And they should have just kept it, like, stop the promotion. If people would still came back and still, you know, maybe up it maybe just a little bit, because you're seeing that more people are coming for it. Or maybe do it holidays and then bring it back. And then, I mean, come on. You got to be smart in business, no matter what type of business it is, excuse me. So, you know, that's how I looked at that one there. Oh, did you guys know me? I'm gonna give y'all a little secret this morning. I do like my little here and there pickups here and there on Amazon, but I've been seeing the Temu. That thing have been coming up. Temu got some stuff. They got some stuff, and Amazon, they're going back and forth. They're going back and forth. It seems like you know, it's like all of these companies are like going against each other when there's enough for everybody. My whole thing is, I see a lot of the companies that's giving more discounts, like the Amazons, the Temus, and those companies, they're rising because they're meeting the price point of the social media and the everyday people. Whereas I see like a lot of, I don't want to just call out the brands, but I believe it was like, hold on, let me see if I could, hold on 1 minute. I'm going to show you guys something, hold on. There's a lot of, I'm not going to call out the brands, but I'll definitely pull it up in a video when I get the information. But from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of brands they're losing money because of their price points. And these are the same, and they're losing money to the same people that will walk into their stores and pick up here and there on the, you know. And it's because people are starting to realize, like, why is this so much money, and why you thought that they charging you all of this money was because it was better. That was what was in the minds of people, but that's not what it is. I'm telling you, as a fashion designer, like say this hoodie, for example, when you see these cuts right here, there's like, you get the different brands. Like I believe it's Stanley Stella. There's different brands that you have, and the comfortability. It's the same thing that they're getting. When you see like shades, Versace's, Ray-Ban, any of these shades, they're all made the same. It's not like different. And that was the whole trick behind this whole thing. So if you really look at what's going on right now, I think there's going to be a divide when it comes down to retail, and when it comes down to like companies trying to grab our attention. Some people are grabbing our attention by making products low in price, and some people think they can do the old school way of making it high in price. But think about it like this. You know, it's like Honda going against Ferrari. Yes, Ferrari is luxury, this and that. But if the amount of people, if they had dropped those prices, and the amount of people that buy Hondas on a daily will go after, they won't be able to they won't be able to make all those Ferraris, in other words. So it's gonna be a shift. I'm telling you, when people start opening their minds up and start dressing more towards their energy and feeling more good about themselves, the less people are gonna be looking up to these brands to make them, the brands or the logos, make them feel good. That's what's making me feel good. And I'm telling you, I see people changing. No matter if it's coming, they're taking They're taking their energy to these different stores and trying to, or maybe they're losing money and they're starting to wake up on how much they're spending in different places, or they just want to change their their fashion palette. If they want to do that, I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot of changes in brands. You're going to see brands that you was paying the thousands of dollars for these bags and the shoes. You're going to see they start matching to what you want them to be. Because you'll realize people, look, listen, behind the brand, behind the product, it's still people. And us as human beings, we know what the world is facing, not just America, everywhere in the world. It's not a time for, the mall is not going to be the big shopping spree if people's energy are down and people don't feel good what's going on in the communities. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be the survival mentality until people really come to some type of realization that we all need help. Everybody needs that helping hand in these times. That's what it's all about. Not people separating, not people going this way, I'll do this over here, you'll do that over here. No. Actually, yo, what you doing over there? Okay, maybe I can do this for you and we can do this. Oh, check this out. Oh, that's dope. I never thought of it like that. It's going to be a whole lot of that stuff going on. Trust when I tell you, it's going to be a whole lot of that stuff going on. Listen to your boy. I'm telling you. It makes no sense at this point to be all down and feeling depressed about who won the election or who's winning this or who's performing at the Super Bowl. All of that stuff, it doesn't really mean anything. What is meaningful in these times right now is what are you going to do to keep your mind and everything in peace? Are you going to go out there and be your worst version of yourself, your survival version of yourself? Or are you going to go out there and be that peaceful person that attracts everybody else so you can actually live a peaceful life? You can't live a peaceful life with chaos in your mind. Are you crazy? The more anxiety, the more things you see, it's going to tack onto that. It's going to snatch your peace and run from. Come on now. We trying to hold peace tight. We trying to keep our peace tight. Like a lover, for real, like a lover undercover. I'm telling you, we're going to keep our peace with us. And people who will appreciate you and love you for that will want the same for themselves. That's how I look at it. When you do good for yourself and people see you doing good for yourself, they want that in you. Just like if they see you wearing something or their favorite outfits, that might look, okay, let me see if I'll try that on and try it. So we want them to try on our energy. Try this energy. Instead of trying on that, him versus her, or she, all of that stuff don't make sense. I put up another video on today on bare minimum parenting. This is like a part 2 because I see that being the issue in society too. I see that being an issue. If the couples are not sticking together, there's no chances for the kid to understand what a relationship is like until they figure it out on their own at a later age. They can figure it out, but they're not going to figure out then. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to go through to going to school and seeing two parents together and just their parents separated. It's a lot of things that comes with that. So, and as far as putting that energy into kid and saying, if you see your kid is maybe even lacking in something or really excelling in something, you have to invest whatever you can into them. Having a kid is it's an ongoing investment of your love, your time, your energy, your money, whatever you have to get them going to wherever they want to follow their dreams. That's the reason why with that it ticks me off when I see parents just giving their kids like just the bare minimum. Go out there, do this. I raise you, and they often trying to get their life together. No, you're supposed to have that together before they're there, so they don't see that. That's not the structure they're supposed to see. That's not the blueprint they're supposed to follow. So now they got to go out there and try to learn it from somewhere else. And where you think they're going to learn it from? Social media. And it's not easy to find people like myself and other people that's trying to, inform people about the right way about going about things. It's not easy to find. It's not easy to find with all of these headlines circling around here like they airplanes. Come on now. So, that's that. I had to put that video up. I hope you guys can check that out. Share it, like it up, and let people know, that there's other ways of parenting, and you don't have to take on old traditions. Find new ways and new solutions. That's what it's all about. Find new ways and solutions. Okay, in these times, you can't put your hand on the kids, But at the same point, there's other ways that you can take things away. That whatever, if they playing video games, you can structure them inside your home, and so when they get outside, they know the structure they're coming from. That's all it's about. They still got to make the decision while they're out there, but at the end of the day, they know that it's not allowed that back at home, and that will reflect on them when they're outside with people. They won't be put in a position where they feel like if something happened to that kid, well, yeah, I know he has parents that's gonna be behind us. So yeah, you gotta give that, that extra layer of protection for your peoples. Little smoothie. This tastes so good, y'all, but let me tell you, I know them lines be packed, and people be taking my drink. Can't even get it for myself, but I'm gonna put it up because I like it. Good smoothie. It is crazy out there, though. I'm just hoping everybody feeling good Monday, because every time Monday comes around, you should be like, damn, I made it. It's that made it Monday, like, and that's refreshing in itself for me. That's refreshing in itself for me. What else we got here? I got a few things for you guys. I'm not gonna just leave you guys like that. With that Tyson fight and all that's going on in the media, I just hope people realize that the Tyson before, his work, all his, the training it took to get to these points where he can do these exhibitions. I want them to highlight that too, because in these times, it's not, and I'm not saying sports is fake, this and that, but I have seen other things in other genre sports and different sports that it's been set up and different things like that. We gotta wipe that out. It's the same as ghostwriting in hip hop. I just feel like it's the same thing. It's like you gotta come with what you come with, man. Whatever you got up here, you gotta know how to transfer that onto paper or music or video form. Whatever you gotta do to get it out to the people, you gotta come with it from here, man. You can't no longer depend on somebody else to come with what you got inside or to translate what you got inside so they could pen it out for you. We in the times where you have to do that yourself, and the more authentic you are behind whatever you do, people will dig into that, man. Don't be out there searching for somebody because I see a lot of like dream doubling, I would say. Like a lot of people putting their dreams on somebody else because they ain't do this and they ain't do that for me. My dreams ain't. Look, listen. All that complaining stuff, you can wipe that out of here for 2025. We done seen people make their mistakes. We don't need to go through that route. You got to start figuring stuff out for yourself. You got good people like myself. If you have a question or you feel like something that you're stuck on, you can always ask somebody. But a lot of people, their egos and it's like, get over that stuff, man. All that, you know how many times ego hurt people's families because one person got an ego and he doesn't want to go this route because it's the right route, but now his ego tells him, yo, because these people saw this and that, I got to do it this way. And then he ends up in a place where he hurts his whole family. It's the ego. Let go of that stuff. That stuff is, come on, man. And you don't have anything to prove to anybody in these times. For real. I see a lot of, another thing that I seen, I don't know if you guys checked it out. I seen what's going on, It's a mixture of feelings how I feel about people telling their stories. I see D Haven telling his story about Jay-Z, and he's just giving it from his point. And I feel like D Haven is like, man, I watched it like 3 times. D Haven, you don't seem like I feel like when it comes down to, when money comes into the picture of a person, you don't know. And it's not to point a finger and say who's right or who's wrong, but money does something to people. Whether you think that people are going to look at you different, people are going to look at you different, or people are going to want to get something out of you, or it just does something to us. And we got to get past that. I heard his stories, and I want people to know when you see these stories and people telling it shouldn't make you or change your feelings on certain people if their music touched you in a certain way. That's the way I look at it. Jay is one of my top MCs that I always loved from the first time I heard Reasonable Doubt. And I do understand a lot. You got to understand, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. People make mistakes, and it's like social media wants you to tell your mistake. You don't know how people feel about people, and I just when I see these stories come across, I respect everybody's story because everybody has one. And I look at it like, in these times, I wish more people could get together and figure out these little things that could possibly, it ain't worth arguing about. It's just only thing is worth fixing or leaving it alone for most of this stuff. Unless it's something criminal, and I didn't hear nothing criminal on them like that. So it's a lot of people doing a lot of things to get a lot out of it, and I'm not with that route. And I just feel like, look, man, everybody has their story. It's just like Sean telling his story on Diddy, but a lot of these stories, they ain't in good light, man. They ain't in good light. They ain't in good light. I seen something new on the Wu-Tang too. I don't know if they was dropping it was a new doc or maybe something I missed, but I definitely wanted to check that out. It's something to do with RZA, I believe. I'm not sure. I gotta check that out. But yeah, man. I know there's gonna be. Hopefully, Can we get them the holiday? I don't feel the holiday vibes yet, and I wanna get into them holiday vibes where we get the good music going and people are just putting out. Oh, how can I forget? Nicki Minaj dropped one. That track is dope. That's what you call dope. Dope penmanship plus Juice WRLD. I know Juice WRLD, if he was still living, he would have really, really loved this track. This really, really dope. Really, really dope track. And that's what I see hip hop going. Take this time out when you see things as like hectic and solve it with your music. Don't hold back and put the music out. Put the music out. That's why I tell you, you gotta pen your stuff and let people know how you feel through your craft. And people won't judge you on it. They can't critique you the same than you just splurting out on social media or, yeah, put it through your music. Come on, man. So shouts out to Nicki Minaj dropping dope, 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 dope. It'd be really, really, really dope. Um, yeah, I seen 50 Cent take a picture with Big Meech. Did y'all see that? That was dope. That was pretty dope. And I think we all felt like, maybe if there was something to do behind the scenes as far as BMF, and 50 has been working on the BMF specials, anything around in the scenes that he could probably, maybe work. He could definitely get something, especially with BMF, maybe continue a new doc. There's definitely work could be done around the whole BMF and Big Meat situation. Um, so yeah, I think that was really dope seeing 50 in the pic with Meech. Yeah, it just goes to show it doesn't necessarily say they're doing business, but it does say that they did get up and there's no I'm pretty sure Meech loved it. I'm not sure if he watched it when he was in prison, but yeah, that was really dope. I seen that on social media as well. Hold on, let me see something. I was like, Fifth he could pull together a new doc. I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. It was something else I had seen that. Hold on. Oh, they say Roy Jones was hating. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. People say, "Oh, the fight was scripted." What do y'all want to see? Like, what did people really want to see? That's my whole thing, man. I didn't really want to. I like boxing. I had to go back to like, oh, I was watching some old school fights too. I was watching some Muhammad Ali, just some old fights. You just know that certain. This is not the boxer racing the horse. And I don't want boxing to turn into that, but there's always been a place for boxers at an older age and these type of exhibition matches and things like that. So, you know, I'm just glad that everything turned out right with that. That was kind of. And I heard something. I don't want to talk too much on this war stuff, but I heard something about some missiles going somewhere here and there in Ukraine, and I'm just like, are y'all serious? Come on, don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't do this. We do not want to go through that. We already have enough as Americans on our backs already. We don't want to go through that. We don't want to, while people are fighting in the street, we at war with somebody too. You know how that would look and how it's There's other ways of resolving issues. And if it's all about money, that means that it definitely don't have to go to a point where people gotta lose their lives and things like that. Come on now. That hasn't worked in the past because it's still going on right now. It's ridiculous. I've seen I watched on Beehive. Shouts out to Beehive. I always watch Beehive TV. He had a JD up there, and he was talking on the Diddy case and the whole. When it comes to JD, salute to JD. He's a real producer though, because what I could say about JD, he definitely kept hip hop, and he was for me, one of the first producers I seen that work with the younger folks and just showing the youth a different light and showing them how to construct their music and write songs for certain people. That's a real producer. And I never heard anything bad or negative behind the scenes about JD. So salute to him for doing the right things, for opening the youth eyes and giving them like somewhere to go. And you can, with the groups and things like that, real dope producer. So he was talking on the Diddy case, and I know I guess some people really didn't know this side of Diddy. Like, I know we didn't. And it seems like the people that knew about this stuff, they're gonna be involved in this case. Still, my boy Choke No Joke and Gene, they're going back and forth, back and forth. But when I weighed it all out, it's not like Choke No Joke says something that was. Gene said it and then Choke No Joke like put it all together, It's not like Choke just made this stuff up. No, the man is smart enough to know, okay, you said this at this point, that means that this is this and this and that. And that irritates people, but at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. And I'm not knocking nobody for their stories, and I'm not saying who should do this time or who should do that time, but I just watch it as a whole. I have no dog in this fight. I just look at it as I hope the victims get what they want out of this instead of people trying to make $1 off of it. But they've been going back and forth, which is crazy. I'm like, man. Do y'all notice? I want y'all to pay attention to this too. Hear me out on this. A lot of companies right now are trying to sell y'all their last broken products. Be mindful of that. And when I say broken products, I'm talking about a product that you buy that's only going to last for a year, or you might have to subscribe onto something else or pay for this. Watch out for that type of stuff. Watch out for products that comes with attachments and strings to it with ongoing payments, because those are the things that leave people empty wallets and all that stuff. By the end of the month, end of the year, you'll tally it up and you're like, wow, he was right. I don't need this stuff. So pay attention to the companies that don't care about your spending habits. Because sometimes people don't even know that their spending habits is it's on a normal basis. You have things that you have things that you numb every day. You're just paying to numb certain things that you don't want to look at. You got to start getting rid of all of that. I know I am. I can't. It's too much. It's just too much. You got to spend according to how you feel and how you're living. You can't spend according to what they want you to do. If it was up to them, they'll have you buying sneakers and things every single day. Every single day. Like a fool. Like a fool. Crazy. I got some... Eating my fruits this morning. Rest in peace to Clark Kent once again. Rest in peace to Big Cap. Rest in peace to Biggie Smalls. Rest in peace to Tupac, Pop Smoke, Stack Bundles, Big L. Big Pun. What's going on with Shine and Funkmaster Flex? What's the back and forth about? I don't get it. So Flex is saying Shine is lying. But at the end of the day, this argument doesn't really mean anything because Diddy ain't in prison for Shine. Shine dropping a documentary. Trust me when I tell you, the feds ain't worrying about what happened with Shine. They already know about that. All that information, they already know about that. That's not what they're worried about. So them going back and forth, it makes no sense. I don't know. It makes no sense. As far as Funkmaster Flex, he's gonna have his issues with it because he's our number one DJ in New York as far as, you know, the radio station. You can't. And as far as Shine, I don't know behind the scenes and how you feel and how this goes, but I do believe what Shine says, and I don't feel like he's in a space where he's trying to like harm Diddy. I just feel like he's in a space where he's like, look, I'm clearing my name up and I'm bringing back the value to myself. I have to, it's not like he's trying to be a rap, in other words. You know what I mean? He's not trying to get back into entertainment, or he's doing his own thing, and he's also putting out his documentary. Everybody wants to tell their story. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes people are not in the best light in some people's stories, and in some other stories they are. It's just life. I don't let other people's opinions of other people, unless it is something that is affected in a criminal way, you know, change or switch judgment on what I feel. Because usually 9 out of 10 times I've seen these signs in certain people, and they weren't enough to make me say I don't want to listen to their music, or I don't want to rock with them or support them. Because we all, as human beings, we don't all do the same things, and we have our mistakes that we all make. So I don't see you know, sometimes if the mistakes that we make are learnable and they're lessons, those are ones that they shouldn't be so much detrimental to your career or your character or things like that. When you're dealing with anything criminal, where you're hurting people outside of who you are and the things, or your establishment or your business, well, that's something that people are gonna be like, yo, wait, hold on. I know somebody that works over there. That's when you put your hurt on other people, is when the public can then say things on it. But I'm not, you know, I would rather hip hop in a better space right now, where a whole bunch of music will be coming out and people, the culture will be flourishing, communities will be doing better, because people are more strive to, you know, live in a better light. When the music has that back and forth energy of, I got to do this or shoot you down or do anything like that, that's words from the community, and that's how the community is feeling right now. Is not going to make the best of music unless they know how to make that, tell it in the lesson form instead of like, tell it in the blessing form instead of the lesson form, because the lesson, they're in jail. The blessing form is what they got out of it, and they took it and they, you know, they went a different route with it. Just like I feel like just like they invented drill music, you could invent something else, something new. Drill music was something new that came in. Why can't there something else you invent? It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. All it takes then is somebody to really sit down, think it out, work on it, tinker with it, and then display it to the public, and then let people eat it up, and people are gonna run with the style, and that's what make hip hop what it is today. Let people run with it. Let people run. If it's good word and it's helping the culture, let them run with it. Whether you make anything, let them run with it, because in the end, that's going to be a benefit for the culture, instead of having people think that the only way when you come into business is you have to, excuse me with the come into business, but the only way when you get into the business, you have to come with this type of energy where you have to be the toughest. That's not necessarily true, man. What you have to do is be the dopest. And I think hip hop has to get back to that. Being the dopest meant that you was original, number one. You was repping from where you, and I'm not saying it has to be, but have some kind of struggle of why you're doing this. Because people are doing it and they have their story. So what is your story? What makes your story in a good space to fit in hip hop's world of stories? What makes your story fit in this hip hop culture that can add on instead of just blend in? You know what's the credibility to your struggle, your story, how you got to this point that makes people, you know, say, you know what, he should be a part of it. We got to get back to that. This is also, in every company, it's almost like and you want to work for a big company, you have to fill out an application, right? And they have to screen it. They check background checks, and it's the same way hip hop should have in a certain way. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be just anybody. It should be some kind of filter, even if it's like a loose filter. Like, okay, well, you made it to this point, but to make it to the radio or make it to these, you have to da 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 da. If you have that, then people will have little goals to reach, and in those goals, it will make them a better rapper, a better person, a better, because they have something to strive for. If it's just money, then people are just gonna go for the thing that's making money, the hottest topic, or what everybody. You don't want to get into that space. You want to just be able to dive into the things that makes you shine as an individual than everybody around you. So that's how it should be. Yeah. So. There's a lot. And when I think about about us being the better us, I mostly think about it in like groups. I don't think about it like like how you're thinking you had like the Million Man March, a whole bunch of people. I don't think about it like that. I think about little groups and little groups of people in different places coming together like that. And oh, that's what y'all think. Oh, this is what we got, and that's how it works. I don't think that everybody just like because we don't all think the same. It make no sense to just want everybody to think like you, because then there be no progress in that. There'd be no progress in that, man. There's a lot of I see a lot of on the news. You see a lot of those weed stores are closing because they're not legal, and people are mad. It's like you can't if it became legal and you can't even sell it the legal way. It's because you don't really have a business structure about yourself. A lot of the great hustlers could have hustled anything else as well. But the ones that just came up, or they was just robbing people and doing this and that, they gonna always mess up in everything they do. So you got to do things the right way in these times, man. It's so many things that we can all do that's legal, that we can make tons of money, and you'll think that, wow, why didn't I think of this before? I'm gonna try to put some things together just to throw out there for you guys, and maybe a few of those things you guys could pick up if you guys like. I'm gonna try to put a video together on some things that could, that can replace you just thinking like, oh, let me just sell some weed or some gummies. Come on now. Make those things work for you after you got what's working for you. In other words, like Mike Tyson was a boxer, and he accomplished championship belts, and after that, then he incorporated the air bites, the gummy air bites. Yeah, because he already has a story, a credible story enough to say, well, oh, the air bites have a story to it too. Him biting Holyfield. Okay, I get it. Let me get one, but build to that point. Build to the point where you can get these little trinkets around your dream, and you can make those things work for you. But you still got to make sure the core of your story is what makes people see you for who you are. That's what it's all about. That's the part I'm working on right now. I'm at a stage in my life where I'm trying to figure things out. I'm trying to figure things out as I go, but I do still keep up my blueprint of what I want to see myself doing in the later years to come. But I still, as I'm going, I'm learning new things, and I'm going different directions. I thought I was going left, but I'm going right. That's how I'm doing it this way. So you work on yourself as you go. That's what it's all about. People shouldn't be down in these times because they don't know what's going on, what's going to happen next. None of us do. None of us do. So we might as well just stick together at this point. And if we don't want to stick together as a whole, let's stick together in little groups. Hold on, let me get some more of this. I'm being greedy this morning because my energy is good, right? Oh, I didn't see Jess on, it said Jess was not feeling well, so heal the energy to Jess too. People always got their speculations. Like, look, listen, we human beings. Come on now. That's one of the reasons why I put up with the bare minimum. I got another video. I'm just waiting till y'all catch up with this one to drop the next one. So on relationships, man, we gotta do a lot better. We gotta do a lot better on these relationships too. People are like promoting their perfect self, and then when people get to know you, it's like the downgraded version. No. Be the person that, even if you're not that person, you're trying to be a better person, right? So the person that you present yourself to be, keep it, Like, maintain that. There's maintenance behind that. And whether it takes money to do it, or reading or learning more things about relationships, or coming together a little better, that's something we got to do. The more single parent households that we have going into the future, is the less we're going to be able to come together. People are not going to know what that full bond is all about. That's why a lot of these relationships are lost right now. They see these Diddy scandals and, Jennifer Lopez and this one and that one and so breaking up. And they feel, well, that's the thing to do. Man, let me tell you, it ain't. Not only is it time consuming, a headache, but if you got a family you was trying to raise, it breaks that dynamic up. If you don't have that strong bond with your kids, you could lose it to somebody else. You could lose it to social media. You could lose it to their phone. I ain't lying to you. Let me see something. What other music dropped though, y'all? I see a lot of people, they're trying to boot me out for my little 9 a.m. time. I'm going to always be here for y'all, though. No matter what, if y'all checking it out now or later, I'm going to always be here for y'all. Y'all watch and see. I love giving people my perspective on things. I've been getting a lot of great feedback. I love you guys for always, keeping up with me. And it keeps me going on. Don't think that I got it all good. Trust me when I tell you. I need as much help as I can get. Sometimes I get a headache the wrong way. Sometimes too much, you just gotta turn off and then turn back on at a later time. Just trying to keep my mind together, keep myself doing things, and try to find myself in a place where I'm most comfortable. That's cool for me. That's a life well lived. Got my family, people that love me. And I don't mind adding, I never have a problem opening the door for somebody else that wants to love me. But it's always closed to the people that want to hate on me, the people that want to talk about me, the people that don't want to understand me. The door is always closed. I have no more room for explaining the person that I'm not. I only have room to show you guys the person that I am. And that's what I've been working on, and I'm still working on to this day. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in this morning and taking some of this energy I got. I hope you guys can take it with you and go on with your days. If you got somebody at work that you don't really F with or deal with like that, don't pay them no mind. You keep focusing on you. And if you see somebody else, always leave your door a little cracked open for some love, because when that love comes to that door, they don't even got to ring the bell. They don't got to ring the bell. It's already open. All right. Love y'all, and thanks for tuning in. I have a video up right now. I hope you guys could check it out. It's on Bare Minimum Parenting. And I owe you guys one video. You're going to get one extra video this week because of Friday. So I got you, love you, and thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe.